Friends, this is Sumer and you are watching online class of Motions Academy. Dear friends, today we will discuss about the physiology, histology, complete anatomy about a digestive gland, and that is liver. So let's start about a very first topic, liver. Dear friends, it is a digestive gland. So first of all, there will be a question, sir, study of liver. Is known as what? So dear friends, this study is known as hepatology. That means if you ever listen a word hepato, that deals with liver. In the same way, this disease, in last portion of this class I will discuss that disease, that is hepatitis. That's maybe hepatitis A or hepatitis B. All these disease related with liver, because hepatitis is made up with the help of hepato. So the word hepato means liver and the word hepatology means study of liver. Second question, dear friends, you know very well which organ is the largest organ in human body? I am asking which is the largest organ in human body? Then answer should be what? Skin. Skin is the largest organ in human body. But again second question, second largest organ in human body. Okay, then liver is known as two things. First one is what? It's second largest organ of human body. First is what? First organ is what? That is skin. But in the second way, second type of question which is what? If anybody asks you, you know very well that skin is an external organ, it is outside the body. If question is that which organ, which internal organ is the largest organ in human body? Not external, it is internal. Internal means brain is internal organ, heart is internal organ, liver is internal, stomach is internal, intestine, large, small, kidney, etc. These all are internal organs. The organs which are inside our body are internal organs. If we compare all these internal organs, then we will find that liver is the largest internal organ in human body. So what is the second point? It is largest internal organ. So the point of discussion will be what? If you compare with all the body organs, complete body organs, then it will be second largest organ, and if you will compare with only internal organs, then it will be largest internal organ of our human body. Friends, one more thing that will be discussed also about liver is what? You know, liver is a gland. What do you mean by gland? Gland is a group of cell which secretes something, fluid. that may be hormone, that may be enzymes. If it's hormone, then that gland will be known as endocrine gland, that may be pituitary, pineal, thyroid, parathyroid, thymus, adrenal, etc. If that gland secretes enzymes, then it will be exocrine gland. So, the liver is a exocrine gland because it secretes some fluids that may be just like to harm enzymes which helps in digestive process. But this gland is the largest gland in human body, largest organ, and that may be questioned as a largest gland. So, anybody ask you which is the largest gland in human body, then your answer should be liver. Liver is the largest gland in human body. That is the point of discussion. One more thing that is very interesting and that will be known by you from me. What is that question? Friends, sometimes you know about organ transplant. What you mean by organ transplant? Organ transplant means an organ which has been disturbed by any disease or an accident in your body and your body requires other organ. Suppose to be your kidney is damaged due to any medical reason, then what will happen? Doctor will suggest you to manage other kidney. That process will known as kidney transplant. But you know very well that there are two kidneys in our body. That means if donor is agree to donate a kidney, then other kidney will performed, other kidney will manage all the activities of our body. But dear friends, liver is a single organ in our body. Then there will be a question in your mind that, sir, if we will donate our liver, then what will happen with the donor? Because donor contains single liver. If he will donate that, then how the digestive or metabolic activities will be performed in his body. So, dear friends, you have to clear out this confusion or this suspense that nobody can donate complete liver. Okay? Nobody can donate complete liver. Liver can't be donated completely. That means its parts, its lobes are donated. It is divided. I will teach you in the following portion about the diagrammatical view of the liver. Then we will watch that liver is divided into segments. Then one segment is donated. That means the donor will not give complete liver. He will give a part of liver and that part will be adjusted, will be transplanted into the receiver's body and that part will regenerate itself and will create as a new and fresh liver. And the donor's liver, that is also a partial liver, will also regenerate itself and that also be a complete liver. That means a simple example, sometimes you grew up a tree with the help of a single branch. Then in the same way liver is also transplanted. So, this process is performed with a technique, with a point of view, with a characteristics, with a technology, with a phenomena, and that phenomena is known as regeneration. My dear friends, this anatomy, this phenomena is very important in the point of view of transplant. Why it is important? Because if any organ has the high capacity of regeneration, then it will recover itself very fast. Then you will ask me a question. What is the question? You will ask me that, sir, which organ has the highest regeneration power and which organ contains the lowest regeneration power? So dear friends, I will suggest you about the two body organs and we will compare the regeneration power of these two organs. Then first one is what? First one is liver. Research said that liver has the highest or we can say maximum regeneration power, means it can regenerate itself very fastly. That is why it is donated, it is transplanted partially. Partially means in the segments, and that segment recover itself fastly in a few months. But which organ has the lowest regeneration power? This phenomena will be understood, but first of all you have to listen one incident. Friends, sometimes you have a curious mind and you ask, you said our teacher that sir, sometimes if we occurs with an accident, and in that accident why our brain is injured and we may got death sometime, why it is so sensitive, why the damage of brain is so large, why the damage of brain takes a lot of time in recovering, what is the reason behind the sensitivity of this brain, why we have a lot of security of this brain. You will consider, you have to listen me carefully, that there are three types of muscular layers, 8 bones, and after that there is a helmet, and after that sometimes brain may be damaged. So why brain is so sensitive, why we are so thankful to God that our brain is so secured, so tightly bounded by the bones and by the muscles. So friends, all these questions will be answered by the single phenomena, and that single phenomena is what? Lowest regeneration power having organ is what? It is brain. You should know that brain is the organ which has lowest regeneration power. Lowest regeneration power means it takes a lot of time to recovering. If your brain is hurted via any incident, then it will take a lot of time. You should know that there is a famous racer, Michael Schumacher. I think he takes 7 to 8 years recovering from coma. The word coma means unconsciousness due to brain damage. So all these activities are due to less regeneration power of our brain. So two questions are clear. First question is what? Liver has the highest regeneration power and brain has the lowest regeneration power in our body. So this was a normal introduction about brain. This introduction will carry on, then now we will discuss about the weight. Sir, you told us that liver is the largest body organ, largest gland in our human body. That means you will also discuss about the weight of this liver. What is the weight? So friends, it is approximate 1.5 kg weight. That is why it is the largest internal organ in our human body, because if we compare with brain, that is approximate 1.3 kg. If we compare with heart, that is approximate 350 grams. If we compare with kidneys, that are approximate 150 grams, we will found that it is the largest internal organ in our human body. Then now we will discuss about some other interesting activities of liver. Friends, you know very well that the liver is a gland, is an organ in our body that may be damaged by wine, that may be damaged by excess of fat. Then this question will be in your mind, sir, why we can say that all the digestive products are entered in this liver. Why? We told that sometimes during the fast, supposed to be 2 days fast of Ekadasi, and you doesn't eat any food substance, then what will happen with your body? Your body requires per day a limited calorie, that may be 4000 calorie for person male, and that may be 350, I mean 3500 kilocalorie for female candidate. And do you take all these calories with the performance, with the proper management? That may be up or down. Supposed to be you require 4000 kilocalorie and you took 5000 kilocalorie, means 1000 is extra. Then what will happen with this 1000 kilocalorie? Dear friends, this excess of food will be stored in our liver. Means liver is a storage organ for food in our body. You will again ask me a question, sir, what will happen with this storage? What will be the use of this storage? So dear friends, you take regular food, with excess quantity, and that excess quantity is stored in liver, and at a time when you are not taking any food product and you are hungry, at that time the liver supplies all the nutrients to our body. Liver manages all the activities during the hungriness, or you can say during the fast. So this activity is done by the anatomy, by the phenomena of storage, and that storage is done in the form of a particular word, that is glycogen. So there is a word, what's the word? Glycogen. Glycogen means what? Storage of food, and that food may be called as glucose. In the liver. So dear friends, this glycogen will be converted into glucose as required. So what will be the question in examinations? Which organ in our body converts glycogen into glucose? That's liver. Which organ in our body converts glucose into glycogen? That is also liver. Glucose will be converted into glycogen during food taking situation. When you inlet the food, when the excess of food, but glycogen will be converted into glucose during the hungry position, during the situation when body is not taking any nutrients, during the lack of nutrients, the glycogen will be converted into glucose. So that phenomena is very important for our body. One more interesting thing that also should be discussed in our human body, that's what? Supposed to be you are taking food, and at that time you take a nitrogen product, and that nitrogen product converts into a gas, that is NH3. NH3 means it is ammonia. It is a harmful gas of our body. This ammonia is very injurious for our body, and this is created during digestive process in the digestive tract. At that time our body is at a risk. What should happen? What will liver do at that time? My dear friends, at this time liver takes this ammonia and convert it into urea. Dear friends, you will surprise that ammonia is less toxic but urea is very less toxic as compared to ammonia. So, what is the anatomy of liver? Liver converts toxic ammonia into very less toxic ammonia, and that urea is exerted via the urine. So, that is an another conversion of ammonia into urea. That conversion is also known as a particular cycle, and that cycle is what? That is ornithine cycle. What is the name of this cycle? It is ornithine cycle. So, is it clear? If anybody asks you which organ in our body converts ammonia into urea, then it will be liver. So, this process is known as which cycle? It is ornithine cycle. My dear friends, in chemistry we will you discussed sometime which organic compound was synthesized firstly, then your answer should be liver. It was synthesized by a scientist, and the name of that scientist was Wohler. Okay, and it was synthesized in laboratory. That why the liver is known as laboratory of our body, chemical laboratory of our body. So, which organ is known as chemical laboratory of our body? Then answer is what? Liver. Why? Because it creates, it manufactures, it performs the formation of a urea as same as laboratory. That is why it is a chemical laboratory of our body. Now, curiousness is increasing rapidly, and you are keen to watching about the diagram of this liver. So, friends, be patient. We are just going to watch the diagram of this liver. What is the diagram? How it looks? So, friends, this is the basic diagram of our liver. You are watching some internal structures are not clear. I will clarify all these structures, but the major thing that I am going to discuss is its external portion. So, this is the liver. You are watching this above portion is liver, and it is divided into different segments, into different lobes. My dear friends, it is organ of a person who is standing in this way. That is why this portion will be right and this portion will be left. So, dear friends, it is a right lobe and it is left lobe. First question is what? Sir, this right lobe is greater than this left lobe. Okay? You should learn, you should clarify that which lobe of liver is largest than its right. Okay? Second thing, as well as this question, there is another question. Our lungs also contains two different segments, one is left and other one is right. Which portion, which segment of lungs is larger? Then again answer should be right. So, right portion of lungs and right portion of liver is always greater than its left portion. Then again one thing, sir, what is the structure that is located just beyond the right portion or right lobe, that is green in color and that is just like a bubble structure? So, dear friends, this is nothing, just a gallbladder. Gallbladder is a structure which store bile juice. We have discussed in digestive system which juice? Bile juice. Bile juice is stored in which structure? That is gallbladder. Gallbladder is located just beyond the liver just beyond the right lobe of liver. Okay, one thing is other clear. Then this tract is digestive tract. You are watching, this is esophagus that will be connected to stomach, and that is stomach will be connected to small intestine in this way, and that is cross sectional area of duodenum. Duodenum is the initial part of small intestine. So one thing, this is liver. There are some terminologies or nomenclatures that are not clear to you. What's not clear? It's clear, right lobe, okay, it's left lobe, it's gallbladder, okay. One thing, cystic duct is what? You know very well that the gallbladder stores bile juice, and that bile juice is exchanged with the duct, and that duct is known as cystic duct. Cystic duct is a duct which carries the bile juice. Okay, so cystic duct is clear. Then again one question, sir, what's the real meaning of common hepatic duct? What is common bile duct? So first one we will discuss about common hepatic duct. So dear friends, there are two lobes. One is right lobe and other one is left lobe. You know very well that bile juice is secreted via liver. Bile juice is secreted via liver. That may be here also and that may be here. All these segments will secrete which juice? Bile juice, and that bile juice will be carried by a duct, and that will be right hepatic duct, and this will be left hepatic duct. Okay, this is right hepatic duct and this is left hepatic duct. These both hepatic ducts will merge into each other, and then there will be a common hepatic duct. That means common hepatic duct is the combination of right hepatic duct and left hepatic duct. So after the combination of these two, which duct is formed? That is a common hepatic duct. Now one more thing, this common hepatic duct is connected with the cystic duct, then it will be known as what? Common bile duct. If you are not understanding my concept, then I can taught you with a separate diagram also. Friends, watch carefully what I want to say you. Listen carefully. Suppose to be, this is esophagus, this is stomach, and this is what? Small intestine. Is it clear? Okay. One more thing that I have to taught you about is, suppose to be its liver in this way, its liver. Okay. Then what I have to understand? Its right lobe and its left lobe. What will secreted by liver? It's bile juice, and after the secretion, bile juice will be carried by the ducts, and that are two, because there are two lobes. These ducts are known as hepatic duct. This is what? Right hepatic duct, and this is what? Left hepatic duct. Okay, these both ducts will carry which juice? That is bile juice. After these two ducts, these ducts will merge into each other, and then there will be a formation of which duct? That is common hepatic duct. So dear friends, after the merging of two hepatic ducts, which duct is formed? Then this will be what? It's common hepatic duct. hepatic duct. What is the function of common hepatic duct? It brings the bile juice from right and left hepatic ducts. Bile juice from right hepatic duct and left hepatic duct is converted, is mixed, is going to a separate duct, that is a common hepatic duct. After this common hepatic duct, what happens? There is a separate structure that you know very well, is what? Is gallbladder. It is a gallbladder, okay, and this gallbladder contains a separate duct, and that duct is known as what? Its cystic duct. Question will be that cystic duct is related with which organ of our human body? Then your answer should be it's a gallbladder. So gallbladder contains which duct? Cystic duct. After the combination of common hepatic duct and cystic duct, one separate duct is formed, and that is known as what? It's known as common bile duct. And that duct will be connected to the small intestine via duodenum part. And other thing is about pancreas, that will also be connected via this duct. So this was the confusion about all the ducts that was in our diagram of a liver. So is it clear? So that was about the diagrammatical view of our liver. One more thing that is coming in your diagram, a question, what is that? Suspense, that sometimes we eat something, we drink something, then liver is not the part of digestive tract. You know very well that pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, there is no any portion that comes in the digestive tract in the alimentary canal of our human body. Then why we can say that excess food is stored in liver? Why we can say that drugs comes with the influence of liver? Why can we say that alcohol damages the liver? So all these queries will be discussed in my next class. Keep watching online class of Motions Academy. Thank you.